Disclaimer, I am not a pro player, nor do I believe I am a pro player. I don't even think I'm that good at Apex, but I think I know enough of what I'm talking about to actually react to this. I don't know what this is. Well, I know it's ALGS, but it popped up in my recommended. I don't keep up with the Apex Pro scene. I didn't know that they did this, that they like put out the final circles or the best final circles. I think the final circles are very interesting to sort of look at, talk about, analyze, especially in regards to pro players. I may not be the best Apex player, I guess, and I really don't enjoy playing ranked, but I did used to take games like CSGO and such competitively very seriously. And I have played Apex enough that I'd say I'm at the point at where I can give my piece on this. I'm really just ripping off its Nixter here, I do realize that, but, you know. I don't care, I wanna do this. There's one thing I love, it's the sound of my own voice, and if there's another thing I love to do, it's to, like, talk about placement and movement in Apex. Because I think that's one of the most interesting things to discuss is, like, positioning. And how you can handle a final ring, especially because final rings are very chaotic and hectic, and placement is everything. So, yeah, right. Before I say anything, not say anything, before we start, I want to say Rampage with a 3x is absolutely cracked. Unfortunately, with a 3x, and just from the way that the Rampage is built, it's more of like a mid to long range weapon, which is why I like it so much. But the thing is that I would say that's a problem because it's the final ring. Look at how tight it gets. You can see immediately. But this is Ras. If you don't know Ras, he's really cool. You should probably check him out. The thing is, with pro players at this level, you don't even need a proper primary close quarters weapon because the Ava is basically that. The Ava is absolutely busted. It's basically just a primary weapon. Once it gets to final ring. So from the ring, you can tell it's going to close around about here. Problem here is that there's really no high ground. The variation in, like, height levels is very, almost like not, like, it's a non-factor almost, because, like, you can tell, it's like, sure, you can slide down here, but there's no significant place where you can get height on, except for maybe, like, these things up here. But these are bad places because I think they push you off anyway. So there's not much point in getting up there. What I can say is that these guys here probably have the strongest position because there's four squads left. This is one squad here. One squad here. I believe this is a squad here. There's another squad here. This squad here has the safest place because you assume the ring is closing here. You can see that this one is outside. You can assume that this one is part of it is outside of the ring as well, which means that this team can't go through here to get at them. Nor would they want to, because you wouldn't want to push into them when they're all full health and just sit pretty. These two are basically fighting, so it's an absolute war zone here. And this team over here also has a very good position. Crazy Raccoon has a very good position here, simply because they're not in a position where they're like, like in this sort of hectic position where they're having to deal with a lot of people on like a lot of sides and having to cover all their bases. So this is actually a very bad final ring. I think it's a safe bet to say that these two teams, this team here and this team down here, will be the final two, because they just have the best positions. These guys are in an open area, yes, but they are the only ones there. They are completely unchallenged. These guys are in a very good position, and they're well put together, and other teams can't get to them without, like, being punished for it. These two teams are basically, they're screwed. I mean, look at that. The ring is closing in on them. They're gonna have to push out, like, here, or, like, some... They're gonna have to come out either here or here. Guess what? They come out here, these guys are looking right at them. They come out here, these guys are looking right at them. This is a lose-lose for both of them. So one of them is gonna lose to each other, the other team is gonna have to run, and they're gonna get mowed down. Oh, shit. Holy shit, that's a play and a half. Holy... Commentators are just as surprised as I am. Yeah, so you get pushed off. That was, interesting. I think that was a play just mainly for the... This guy, when he came in like this, 100% I can probably bet he was not doing this with the intent to do any damage. He was trying to get as much info as he could until the very last second. Info is everything in Apex. There's a reason why so many characters have at least some form of, like, tracking ability or scanning ability. Even Fuse has it at this point. Because the two most important things in Apex that dictates why some characters get played more than others is movement and information. That is why most teams you see, you have a movement legend for the IGL, because it means they can take risks, they can push in, and they can make a better call while having sort of the safety of the movement to get themselves out of a sticky situation. Info, for obvious reasons. Information is everything. Knowing where the enemy is, how to play around them, where you are relative to them, and how you can take advantage of that when knowing when to push, what have you. And then the third teammate is, well, the third legend is usually Caustic or Gibby. You see Gibby usually because Gibby can put down the dome, and the dome is absolutely retarded in how powerful it is. And that's usually how most team comps go. Caustic is honestly, in my opinion, a little bit more viable than Gibby for final circles because his gas nade is absolutely cracked. You've seen how small the ring gets in final circle. It's absolutely devastating to throw it down in the middle of where the circle is closing towards the end because every enemy that you're fighting has to go there. They have no other choice, and they're gonna eat, like, they're gonna start inhaling that, like, crusty, like, 4-month-old burger breath that Caustic packs into his Nox nades, and it's not a good time. You can see it in this team comp here. Movement, information, but also doubling with movement, because I assume that they're confident enough that they can rely on that enough, and defensive, Gibby. So 100%, she's flying in to give info, and at the same time have the movement to back out, which is exactly what Selly does here, look. Fancier instantly gets out of there, flies back up to take at least some form of cover. This isn't like to hold height, he just wants to get into cover so that he can pop a shield cell on the way down. Oh, and with 456 here, same thing. Movement for, I assume, the IGL. Loba isn't exactly a main movement character. I find it interesting that she's been picked, but her jump drive can get her out of sticky situations, and it's very disorientating for enemies. Crypto for info, and Caustic for defensive capabilities, and also how utterly cracked the Nox grenade is for the final ring. The other team here, they cannot come in to get these guys because of Caustic. Oh, wait. Oh, I was mistaken. Hold on. Judging by this, yeah, the ring closes right about here. So this is one of the best positions. That means they are in the best position up here. The team with the Caustic up here, they 100% are in the best position because they have the height elevation, and the other team has to come to them, and they have Caustic in this narrow area. Yeah, this team, my bet's on this team now, 456. 100%. They're in the best position with probably the best character for this position. Yeah, this team here is rough. Look at how bad this position is. He's like, the only cover you have is this thing, the respawn beacon. And the thing with the respawn beacon is you can see here, they have, like, there's gaps in it. You can shoot through it. You see how close the ring is getting. And then when he realizes he has to move, he can be seen from here, and he can be seen from here. He's lucky that no one was looking because everyone is focusing on, like, surviving and probably healing up right now. But this is a terrible position to be in because, like, as the ring gets closer, the only place you can go is like, this wall right in front of him, which is right in between both of the other teams. I mean, I was talking about how stupidly good Gibby's dome is, but yeah, you can see it here. Yep, There we go. Beautiful third party. You can literally see it. These two teams got way too caught up in fighting each other around this corner. They opened themselves up entirely to this entire lane from both sides from 456 coming in from here. That was very well played by 456. The main thing that got those two teams killed, their Crazy Raccoon and I think Apexers. The main thing that sealed their fate there was that they got too engrossed in fighting each other. Both teams threw out their Gibby domes, causing them to overlap, and that basically is just an absolute waste for both of them. That is a lose-lose for both of them. So that was very unfortunate for both of them, but these guys got a well-deserved third-party win. I feel like Crazy Raccoon should not have engaged as hard as they did. They should have moved up around here. Or tried to back off down here somehow. Because these guys were already in a terrible position. They would have had to come out here anyway. They didn't need to engage this hard over here. You can already see it's out of the ring. Towards the end of that fight, like, I think one of them got knocked from being out of the ring, the Gibby or something, on the other team, on Apexers. So, like, they really didn't need to take this fight. They should have moved up here, let this enemy team let Apexers come out from this side, and get them pincered between 456 and them. 4 squads, 1 squad here. Why are there 4 people? It looks like the ring is going to be closing on this area here with the boxes, which means that these guys, you could probably tell immediately, these guys are in 100% the worst position. There is a whole ton of cover here protecting any enemies like that will be here from them, and they'll be in complete line of sight of both these guys here and these guys here. They're in a really bad position. They would need to get out of there as fast as possible. I'd say these guys have the best position right now because they have free reign to push into here, which is exactly where the ring is closing, and it looks like the ring is closing on a place where there's a bunch of just cover for them to take advantage of. Little thing. He swaps out the flatline for an Ava. So he has an Ava and I believe it's an alternator. Basically, the idea behind this is obviously look at how close the ring is going to get. You don't need a flatline. Especially a flatline with a 3 times. You don't need it. You don't need it when it gets this close. At this level, if you're good enough with the Ava, which these people are, Ras was using one earlier. We know that he's good with the Ava, and that everyone else is great with the Ava. Might as well just have 2 really close quarters weapons, because that's all that's going to be important. Okay, yep, these guys have the best position. Ras's team here, I think, what, Crazy Raccoon? These guys have, right now, the best position, because they have the cover of the truck. And they can probably hop on top of it for height, to see over here and whatever. But remember, the ring is closing here. They're going to have to push in here, which means that these guys are sitting pretty in this area where there is a ton of cover with these fences and these boxes here. And they have it, like, held. Which means that these guys aren't going to be able to do much to them if they just sit there, and they're going to have to push in. Same with these guys, but these guys are in an even worse position because they're going to have to push up to them from low ground. It is infinitely easier to hit a person lower than you than a person who's higher than you. They're also in direct line of sight with these guys, Crazy Raccoon as well. My bet's on these guys here. RXC, Kanata, Franks. I hate that show. Yeah, see what I was saying? They jumped up here. Ras's team, some members of them jumped up here and started opening fire. Or trying to get an angle on these guys in here, but they're just sitting behind this box here. They can't do anything about it. A few seconds later, they're gonna have to come right in. These guys are just gonna be sitting here with shotguns and a Gibby dome at the ready. There's not much they're gonna be able to do except counter it with another Gibby dome. Really unfavorable position. And look at that. The moment, it's like sharks sensing blood in the water. The moment that they see the position that they're in, how close they are to the ring, how there is no other cover. There is nothing else. They are completely in the open because the ring is closing, and the one thing that they have for cover is getting eaten up, so they have to move. They're here, which gives them cover from the other team over there, but no cover at all from Crazy Raccoon. Which is why they just get instantly beamed and destroyed, because, like, I mean, it's just a terrible position to be in. There's absolutely no fault on their part. There's just nothing they can do because of how unfavorable that position is. It's like, push up or die. They died. Okay, they win. Yep. Yep. I know I was saying that it's like they have the best position because, again, you see, again, these guys had to give up this position to come in because the ring is closing, and this point that they had that was technically more powerful than theirs because of the height advantage and, like, how safe it is in comparison. Well, that's getting eaten up. They can't stay there, so they had to push in. The difference here is that these guys, unfortunately, I think the Gibby was a bit too hasty with the ult, because you can see here, it just completely ineffective ult. He needed to wait or throw it further back so that they were forced to move in further, and because of that mistake, when they push in, they have a Gibby dome, and they don't. They have boxes. So the moment that it dropped, and they're like, oh crap, we have to get behind these boxes, and these guys are playing Octane and Valg, and they have shotguns and crap, like, no. Oh, that sucks. He got disconnected. Apex is such god-awful servers, even the Pro League is affected. That sucks. Reignite up here. Oh, they have this part of high ground on this part of the map. They win. This is the most powerful position in this area, especially. Look at where the ring is closing. It is like closing right on them, except like a little bit off to here and straight down. This is the best position for any team to be in, because there is no way they can be challenged. The only other way to challenge them is from other areas of height, like up like here where this door is, and over here where like the crane area is, but you can't get there because they're in the zone. These guys are literally, they're unchallengeable. No one from below, the only people from below can only react to them, especially considering that they have a caustic up here. These guys have the best position, and they're probably going to win. To do, and once again, yep. Commentator is absolutely right. They had the choice. They had free reign over when to push down, who to take a fight with, when was the most opportune time, when can we push down, when can we really capitalize on having this height and dropping down to take advantage of a surviving team or whatever. That's why they won, and that's why I expected that they would win. Don't you think this looks like a face? Let's hear its little nose. Listen, I know that I was saying that the Ava is basically a... I know I was saying that the Ava is basically a primary, but alright, I didn't think it would be that effective as a primary. Maybe with the G7 and gold armor. Gold armor is generally better on mobility legends, like obviously like Wraith and Valk, ones who are more aggressive, because popping a cell and healing 2 can easily save your life in a hectic situation where you're like knee deep in enemies and you just have like, you know, barely 2 seconds to yourself, and you can pop a cell, get 2 back, and you can have more confidence in being able to take a fight comparing to popping a single cell on a red or purple shield. On top of that, I find it interesting that they gave him the gold while he has a scout. Gibby is fortified and he has a gun shield, which means he just takes a whole bunch less damage than other legends. It also means that with the scout, he can be very good at peeking out with the scout, peppering the enemy from range, hitting them to do some damage to slowly level up the evo of a purple shield up to red. And then once it does hit red, drop it to one of the other players so that they can have it. That's one of the best ways that Gibby is used in generally. So I find it interesting that they just gave him a gold and they stuck with purples. Damn, this guy's voice. Oh, these guys, yeah. These guys were in a terrible position down here. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, get up here. Good position. And that guy is AFK. And that, yep. These guys made sure to take every fight that they could from the best position they could. Those guys down there that they killed, the Wraith and the Gibby, those guys were on the fringes of the ring and on low ground, so they just swooped in as fast as they could with, like, shotties. Cleaned them up as quickly as possible so they couldn't even react. These guys over here, the Wraith took high ground up here, and these two came around from this side, which means that they got pincered from both sides of this team coming in, and on top of that, the Gibby threw down the dome here, so that they have full cover on this choke point that they can use, while the enemy has only the cover that they have there, and they can't do anything about it. So they played that very well. Crypto sucks, but you love to see that people are still using him. Oh, nutty shots. Yeah, you gotta finish it. You gotta thirst it. Ooh. Star. They get like a POV, like big area. Oh my god, this guy's dead. There's no way he's getting out of this. Oh my god. He can't, because I'm pretty sure there are people on top as well, so he climbs up here, there's people inside looking at him. He climbs up top, there's people up top waiting for him. He goes out here, there's people looking at him. Yeah. He's gonna climb up and he's gonna get cocked by the people up here. Yep, immediately. Yep. Poor guy. Okay, get the armor swap. Always armor swap. Immediately. And he's dead. Yep. Very smart, actually. She wanted to get up there quickly so that she could get hide and light know where they are. Very interesting choice to have 2 times on a Mastiff, though. But in order to get up there as quickly as possible, she pops the her ult, not only so that it leaves a portal for her teammate to get up on hide as well, but the portal into her tactical, which gives a big fuck off speed boost for Wraith. And look at how quickly she climbs up here. Very good idea to do that, because it let her like instantly circumvent the entirety of height to get behind that guy. Very impressive play. It's very cool to see like Wraiths who like really know the intricacies of her kit. Hey, full hack the system team. Hack the system is my favorite Apex skin. Fuck yeah, full hack the system team. Let's go. No, don't drop down, dude. You just dropped into the gas.
UE Sports have lost 2, but still have 1 remaining, so they're still within it in terms of placements into
Holy
this top 6.
crap, Shiv.
It's such a nuisance to solo queue goats. Just so much gas. Absolutely.
What was I saying about how powerful Caustic can be in Final Ring? Yeah, these guys who are on top of the roof had the best position, but now best position goes to these guys. At least I think it does, depending on where the portal goes. Yep, best position. That is smart. Did you catch that? There, this is their portal. Their portal is basically in the center of where the ring is. They need to get there, but they're inside this building, so no one can get them. But that means that that's also a bad position, so they need to move through the ring. They completely circumvent that problem by having the Wraith portal there and also inside. And they chuck the gas nade onto where they're going to come out from the portal, doubling as not only cover for them coming out, but also as a damaging field for where the ring is closing. That is genius. That is incredibly well played. Look at that. Yep. They're probably gonna win. Yep. Incredible. That was a beautiful play. There's nothing more I could say about that. That was so big brain. They let both of these, all the teams outside, like, just absolutely tear each other apart. And then, in order to enter and have the best chance possible, they had the portal, which no other team is going to go through to get to them because that's basically a suicide mission. But they covered their entrance with a caustic gas nade, which means that the enemy team both like has difficulty seeing them and also can't push them and capitalize on when they come out of the portal, and then they just come in with shotguns and absolutely clean up the people who are left after they each were all fighting each other. That was incredibly well played. I wish I could coordinate something as well as that. Very well done. Oh, this is a terrible final ring. What the hell? Right now, I think these guys have the best position, but obviously once the ring starts closing, they're going to have to move in, and then they're not in the best position, and in fact, they're sitting targets. That's the interesting thing about final rings, is because places that are like, yes, this is the best place to be in, very quickly become the worst place to be in, because you have to immediately get out of them like rats out of a sinking ship, and that puts a massive target on your back, because you're running away, and you're out in the open, which means that people down here who are watching you come down can easily capitalize on that.
Good set of positioning. Some of our preseason qualifier teams really showed up in game number 1.
Really good Termite.
Yeah. Reply totem, having everybody pushing in on their territory.
Yeah, there goes reply totem. What did I say? What did I say? I knew that they were cooked. I knew that they were dead. These guys, like, look at that. They like I said, they had to come out, go diagonally down here, and these guys are just sitting here waiting with perfect cover. Nothing they could do. The only thing they could have done is like come out early and come down to around here. But then these guys, no fear, are right here staring at them. So now I'd say strength goes either to Gambit or no fear down here. I'm putting my bets on Gambit. Let's look at that. They're fully protected right now. They don't have like much to worry about. These guys have to come down here around a corner to get into where the ring is. These guys have to come up over here, deal with these guys coming. These guys can just sit here, wait, then come out. They have cover here. They have cover here. They can just, you know, they have this entire spot where they can chill, and they can just pick them off. And see what I mean? I literally said it. They could, like, well, I said these guys could have come here, but they would have been plain land side of Gambit. Look at what happened with these guys. They come down here. Oh, we're dueling with these guys. We have to come over here. We have to hide. Bam. Right there. I knew it. These guys are in a terrible position now. They were able to capitalize on Reply Totem being in an even worse position, but now they're feeling the consequences of being in just as bad of a position. And they secured it. With that Gibby ult, yeah. There's nothing they can do. They have to push in. There's nowhere else that they can go. This is a much better version of the play that we saw earlier. Instantly, the moment the dome is out, he throws in his bombardment because he knows that they don't have a way to defend against it. So here, he throws down the dome. And look at how much difference there is between where these guys are, where Crazy Raccoon is, and where they are. It's a complete whiff of a orbital bombardment, because look at the difference. He didn't even hit them once. And you can see the size of the ring comparatively from this to this. Look at how much smaller it is. This was the best time to use the orbital bombardment. There was nothing they could do about it. This was a perfect ult. Yep, knew it. This is why Gibby is so good. For both of those last two, those are like best tier plays. They get my Hexmus approved seal of approved approval. I want to watch it again. This cost it.
Depending on what has happened elsewhere, DivQ does get taken down by a nade in the end, so SodaQ goes down to just 2. IG are very much a full 3 here, but they have to pull 3 squads left.
Ah, so well done. It's so well. They played it so well. Fills my soul with warmth. That's how well they played it. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah.